Hi everyone, Emma here. I'm so excited to show you these bracelets and how to make them. They are super simple and they only take 2 beads. So you need 11 beads and you need some um, 4, I think these are 3x4 the size. Let me grab the end here and let's bring this up and set it to here. Okay, so this is 4 on that side, and then if we check the size on this, because these are rondelles, so they're like pinched, it's still, they call these 4s. I think they're 3x4s, but they may be 4x5s. It's hard to tell. It's right there on the 4 both ways. Let me see if I do this again. See if I get anything less. Yeah, so it's just under the 4 mark on this. So, but it will work with anything around this size. So whatever you have, and actually, surprisingly enough, and I'll just give you a quick peek, it works on 4mm pearls as well. So you can see, like, here's the rondelles and here's the pearls. And I haven't, I'm going to try some other beads as well and see what we can come up with. Maybe some like 8/0s and see if we can create some unique design with the same kind of bead weaving. So these turned out super cool. So I'm super excited to show you. So again, like I said, 2 beads, awesome. And then of course you're finding in your thread and your needle. So I'm just going to put a toggle clasp on this like I did for these guys. So let's take a look at these guys first, and then we'll do the blue one and we will attach it. So these are all the electroplated beads that I got from Nbeads. So I just wanted to shout out to them. These are so amazing. And I think I paid like 50 cents a strand. I was kicking myself that I just didn't order a whole bunch of the same things because they are beautiful. Look at how sparkly they are. So this is like a dark green color. And there, I think you get the color with it. And I used my let me see if I wrote down the name of these beads. These are from Bead, and these are the Toho 11s, dark olivine color. So I think they turned out really nice with the Tohos, but honestly, I think using some Miyuki rounds would actually suit this better. I just found that they were a bit like they took up a lot of room next to each other. But you know what? It created this kind of diamond pattern rather than kind of a flower pattern around the first 4 crystals that you put on. So, you know, I think trying some different seed beads might give you some different effects. So yeah, definitely take a look and try those. So that's those ones there. And I used just this toggle clasp to kind of match with the color of the beads, and I think that turned out really nice. So I apologize I'm not using that finger. I was washing the tongs in the sink, and I didn't realize they were sharp. They were just like dollar store metal tongs, and I just touched the tong to my hand and it made a big cut. I was surprised, and I looked and they were rusted, and I'm thinking, oh, don't tell me I have to go get a tetanus shot. I haven't yet, but I think I've cut my hand in the last 10 or 15 years, so the tetanus shots are good for that amount of time, so hopefully I'll be safe. But there we go. Look at how beautiful this turned out. Oh, just lovely. So then we have, we'll put that one aside. Then we have this one. Oh, look at this. So these were the kind of a turquoise aqua crystal, electroplated crystal, and I used, and you know what, I didn't, let me grab the name of those beads. These I got from the craft shop on Amazon. So these are Duracoat galvanized dark sea. I think it's sea foam is the full name. So that's those. And look at, so here's the example. Well, these are Miyukis. Do you know what? I don't know if these are the ones I used, because these look like Tohos. Let me see if I have another set of these. That looks like them. So, when I was suggesting maybe using Miyuki, so yeah, these are super round. So let's take a look at the blue so you get a, so you see, I don't know if you can see this. Let's move this out of the way. Let's use these because they're metallic. So you can kind of get a look here. So you see how these kind of bunch up because they're tubular, but these are rounded and they're closer to the 4, and these pop out. But it's, you know what, you can barely tell. You can see that little space here, and it's closed on this one. So there you go. But oh my heavens, look, and then I put the bamboo toggle clasp on this. I think it's turned out amazing. So awesome. So we're going to do the blue one now. And I just wanted to show you again that you can use a different, whatever 4mm around that size bead will work with this design, and it's super easy, so fast. So let's take a look. I have, these are the sapphire silver lined that I got from Bead, and we'll put some of these out. You're going to need your needle and your thread, whichever thread you're using, and I'm using the dragon thread. And I'm using a size 10 needle. So these don't need a lot of space to go through, so you can use the size 10 needle. And we'll just put that aside, and I'll put this here so you know what we're doing. And we have our beautiful electroplated. These are crazy. I can't believe how sparkly they are. And they have a bit of a luster to them as well. So these are delicious. So let's get these off here. So we'll need 4 to start. And we'll put a few out here. Actually, we're going to need a bunch to put it all together. So I'm going to show you how to put it together as well. So that's okay. So you're going to start out with an 11/0, a 4mm crystal, an 11/0, 4mm, 11/0, 4mm, 11/0, 4mm. So that is what you're going to start with. And let's bring this up there. That's better. There, start with that. you're going to take this all the way down to the bottom. And just keeping an eye on where my thread is coming through at the bottom here. Okay, so we're going to take it all the way down. You don't have to leave a tail, so whatever you can manage length to make your knot. I'm just not going to leave a whole lot so I don't have to hurry. And you're going to create this loop, tie that a second time, and just make sure that's tight. And actually, I could probably get my needle through this way. That's what I was worried. That's both off there. And hang on to that. And there's your second knot. And I'm gonna pull it nice and tight. And you know what? I used to do 3 knots, but it actually doesn't need it. So let's clip this little piece off. Oh, I'm pressing the wrong. I'm pressing here thinking I was pressing the button. It's what happens when you look through the camera and not what you're doing. There. So just clip that little piece off. And make sure it looks tight. Okay. So now we're going to go through. Now it's loosened up a bit, but that's fine. We're going to tighten it up. We're going to go through and we're going to kind of pull that knot in to the beads like that. Slide it in there. There, like that. And we're going to go through, secure this and get it a little bit tighter. Just bring, you don't have to go all the way around, but I think I will because it's a little bit loose. So then I'll go through here. There. Okay, and that's what it should look like. So there is your beginning. Now we're coming out of an 11/0 seed bead, because what we want to do is we're going to pick up 6 11/0s and we're going to go around the crystal and through this 11/0, and we're going to do that all the way around. So we're going to embellish it with the 11/0s. So pick up 6. These are so beautiful. They have like a rainbow AB on them. Okay, so there's your 6 beads. So we're coming out of here. We're going to go into the next 11/0 around that crystal like that. And you don't need, when you're doing, so we do these pieces separately. You don't need a whole lot of thread, but the reason I have a whole lot of it on, I have about a wingspan on my needle, is because when we get done this one, we're going to put it all together. So I kind of want it to be all one piece. So there's your next 6. You're coming out of this 11/0. You're going to go into the next one around that crystal like that. And we'll just continue that all the way around. So let's do the next 2. I can't believe how easy this design is. It's so lovely. So through here. That. And as you start getting around each one, they start to really kind of get a little tighter because it's like pushing them together, the crystals. So let's do 6 11 O's. So there's your 6. And we're just, now we're going to go through this one, but we're going to go through the next 2 as well. So we're going to go through, well, we're actually going to go through more than that, but so we're going to go through these 3 here. So you're going through your first one, which was the same as we did for all the way around. We're going to go through the next 2, and we're going to go through the next 2 as well. And the only reason I didn't do it is because it would have bent my needle. So let's go through these 2 like that. So you should have 2 on each side, if you don't count the seed bead that's holding your crystals together. That'll make more sense when I add what we're going to add. So there's where you should be coming out of. So coming out of the middle 2 at the peak of your crystal. Now you're going to pick up an 11-0, a crystal, an 11-0, a crystal, and an 11-0. So this is what you're going to pick up. You're going to go to the next set of middle 2 beads. So here's your crystal. You've got 2 here. These are your middle 2. There's 2 there. So you're going to go through the middle 2 of the next one like that. Bring that through. And that's what it looks like. Okay. And you're going to do that all the way around. So we're going to pick up 11-0, a crystal, 11-0, crystal, and 11-0 like that. You're going to go through your middle 2 on the next set. Like that. And we'll keep going. So 11-0, crystal, 11-0, crystal, 11-0. That. Going to go through our next middle 2. So there's there, there, and pull it through. So I'm just going to move these so that you can see a little better, and I'm going to enlarge this so you understand where those middle 2 beads are. So this is the last one. So an 11-0, a crystal, 11-0, crystal, 11-0. So this is what you have. Now you're coming out of this bead here. We're going to go to the next set of 11-0s, and this one's a little easier to see because there is where you're coming out on that side, so you know that this is your middle 2 here. So if you look at it this way, here's your bead that's holding your crystals together, then you've got 2 beads, then your next 2 is where you want to be. So you just go through that, and you can probably pass through your next 11-0 and your crystal. We're going to line up for the next set of beads. So there is what you have so far. And you know what? At this point, you can change your design. So you could do this as part of your bracelet design and maybe just put some beads down here. Don't put a crystal here, and it will make it look longer this way. Yeah, there's all kinds of variations you could do. So we're going to continue and go through this 11-0 and this crystal. And this is, we're setting ourselves up for the next edition. There. Okay. So we're going to pick up an 11-0, a crystal, and an 11-0. So now we're just adding 1 bead to this design. So in this corner. So we're coming out of this crystal we're going to go into the next crystal, and we can pass through the 11-0 and the following crystal. Like that. Like that. And you pull it tight there. So it kind of looks a little bit rounded. You don't have to pull it tight. You can, if you wanted to, you could add an 11-0, an extra 11-0 on each side of this crystal, and it would make it very square. So there's like, again, this is what I really love about this design is it's basically the basis of a whole bunch of other designs. So now we've got an 11-0, a crystal 11-0, and we're coming out of this crystal. We're going to go into the next crystal. I'm going to pass through our 11-0, and it doesn't want to go through without bending our needle. So we'll just take it in 2 steps. That. Go through this crystal. Like that. Go through. There we go. That's how easy it is. Look at that. It's so beautiful. I'm like, I love it. I love it. Oh. I look for designs that are elegant, but also that only use a few beads, different type of beads. Because I feel like when I was starting out, I would look at something and go, oh, that's amazing. I want to make that. And then I didn't have the supplies, and it's really hard to get supplies here in Nova Scotia. So, without having to wait for the mail. So I get super excited when I see something that's this pretty with so few beads. Like, that's amazing. And all you would need is like 1 tube of bead, like even a 8-gram tube, and a strand of crystals, and that's all you would need. So there is one of these elements. So I am gonna go through a little bit and create some knots so that this is not loose when we put them together. So I'll go through a few here and do some half hitch knots. And just be careful when you're doing your half hitch knots. I run into this problem sometimes. If your needle is not next to like where the thread is and in between the 2 beads, sometimes when you loop it, it jumps the seed bead and it knots around the seed bead. And I have a few, actually, I'm sure it's in one of those bracelets where it did that, and I was like, oh, I'm not going to take it apart. So there, I did 2 loops around. So to prevent that loop from jumping, I just put my finger on it, which is going to be hard with this stupid Band-Aid, and pull everything through so you can see where the knot is. So I kind of pull it back and forth and then continue in the same direction, and I will pull that into the bead so you won't see that knot. See how easy that was. And I just tug it at it. Okay, I'm going to put another one here. That. And put my finger on it. And nice tight. And you can see the knot there and a bit of the strand. I'm just going to go through. And there you go. Oh, sorry, there you go. It's ready to go. So we are going to put these together. So let me see what I did for the others. Okay, so here's the other thing is you can put these together this way. So you see where your peaks are for the middle crystals in line. So it looks a bit square, but you can do it this way and it looks really cool. So now we are going to attach these two, and to do that we need to bring our needle 2. So you can kind of see this area here is kind of rounded with the 11 O's. So we're going to bring our needle out on this side. So, I mean, I could just flip this, but it's better to go this way. I'll go through, so come out on that one there. Okay, like that. Then we're going to pick up an 11O, a crystal, and an 11O. That's what we're going to pick up. And we are going to come into this bead. So let me see if I can do this to show you like that. We're going to, so you see this rounded area. So we are going to attach those. So we're going to go in through this bead here, just the crystal like that. Okay, I'm just going to hold those down so they don't fly all over the place. And you can see just like that. Now we're going to do the same on this side. So an 11O, a crystal, and 11O. And I'm going to bring these down so you can see. So now we're kind of creating one of these, only in the different orientation. And we're going to go through this crystal. And that. And just the crystal. So everything's loose right now, but that's fine because when I pull this down, it's going to tighten everything like that. That's how easy it is. It's very simple. I want you all to do this. This is so much fun. So now I'm just going through it another time. It should be fine with once around, but we'll see when we get there. So we're going to go through everything that we just added and tighten it all. So we're going through our 11 O's, our crystals in that circle that we added. Yeah, so we don't, so I'm going to come out, I'm going to go through this one again, and then we're going to come around here and we're going to add on the other side. You can go around again and come out the other side, whatever works for you. So I am going to go. And if you wanted to, you could put a knot at the end of this so that this connection is not loose through the next bead, but I didn't do that for the others and it was fine. So I do feel like, no, I guess that's it. There, nice tight. So now I'm going to just go through around to the other side. So you can go through as many beads and crystals as you can manage to get to the other side. And actually, I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to add the clasp on this side, and I'll tell you why. Because there's only 2 pieces on here. If I were to just add everything and then go to add the clasp, I'd have to thread, if I want to use the same thread, I'd have to thread the thread all the way through the whole bracelet. But at this point, all I have to do is add the clasp here, then thread it through the 2 components and then start adding on the other side. So that's a little bit of a kind of a trick that don't ask me how I thought of that, because I know I put it on the long way, the other way. So there we go. So let's add the clasp, and I want to double check what I did for the clasp. Okay, so for the clasp, we are going to add 2 crystals to the end along with our 11 O's, and we're going to create a little peak here with that 11O, and then we're going to add some more 11 O's. So let's do that. I was just double checking. So So an 11-0, a crystal, an 11-0, a crystal, and an 11-0. So this is what you need for the start of your clasp. And again, your clasp work can be different. You could add another crystal if you wanted to. So, sorry, if you wanted to, another crystal right here as well. Or you could add a lot more seed beads to make a longer strand going from here up and not add crystals. So there's all kinds of variations. But this is what I did, and I kind of liked the way it worked, and it actually worked really well with the toggle clasps, so I didn't need to make it any longer. So we've got our 11-0, our crystal 11-0, crystal 11-0. We are coming out of this crystal on this side. We're going to go into the other side, and we're going to go around these a few times. I did it 2 times to make sure it was strong for our clasp, so that's what it looks like. Okay, I'm just going to flip it, make it easier to go through. So we'll go through the 11-0, the crystal, go tight, 11-0 crystal, like that. Go through this 11-0 and this crystal, tight, like that. And we're going to go through here and through this 11-0. And now we're going to add our clasp. Just like that. So now we need, I added, that one I added 2, I think. And the other one I added 3 on each side. So let's do 3. Actually, you know what? I'm gonna add 4 on each side. So do that. Then our toggle. Then 1, 2, 3, 4 on the other side of the toggle. So depending on the size of the hole on your toggle, the seed beads sometimes go through. So just be aware. It's not a big deal. I say that, and I did it for one of them, and it was like lopsided, so it's like so annoyed, took it apart. So you can see it, the seed beads trying to get in there. So now we're going to go through this a couple of times to reinforce that. You can see that seed bead really wants to get in there. And go through these guys and through this one. And again, it's loose right now, but as soon as I pull this, it'll go tight. There you go, like that. That's lovely. Oh, these are so beautiful. There, we're going to go through this again. And tight. And so there's 2 beads getting in the mix here inside the toggle. Okay, so that is that. Now I'm going to come down through these crystals and find a spot to create a knot, and then we'll continue to the other side. So, and I'm always, in case you're wondering, I'm always going in circles. So this is basically right angle weave. We keep going in circles. So let's just go through, let's go through here, and we'll put a knot there. Knot. 1, 2, and pull that through. So here is an example of when it jumped the bead. So this jumped the bead. You can see the thread right there. Right there. So not a big deal. It's still a knot. It's still going to stay in place. But if you're really like me, OCD, I'm like, I see a thread. So you can pull it apart. It sometimes is annoying to try and get that apart once it's like that. But that was because I didn't have my needle close up against the... So let's just go through here. Pretend we never saw that. I used to, I took art lessons in high school, and I used to point out things that needed work. And I mean, part of that is learning, you know, to do a critique on your own work. And I remember sometimes teachers saying, never tell people where your mistakes are because they can't see that. They don't have the same eye as you have. Like, okay, you didn't see that mistake. So that's our second knot. So let's go to the other side. So we're just going to find a nice path to do that. So you're going in the path of your thread, and you're going to always go in like circular directions. So since I went through here, now I could probably go around here and down. So let's try that like this. And this will reinforce as well and make it nice and sturdy. So let's just want to go through, so we'll just do it a couple of times. Okay, so this should go through a few of these guys. Like that. I think we need to do some snowy, Christmassy stuff with these. They're so sparkly. Oh, oh, so excited. We haven't had any snow yet, and I should hold my tongue. Okay, so this is where we want to come out. You can see this rounded area, and it's kind of in a line, so you should be able to find it. And just out through the crystal. Look, oh, this one's amazing. Oh my gosh, I haven't seen it together. And you know what, when you're making things yourself, you're like up so close, you don't see the impact of it. Oh, this is beautiful. Okie dokie pokey. Let's get our next one. Ha ha. Come join the family. We're going to pick up an 11-0, a crystal, an 11-0, and we're going to go through the next component through that. So line them up, find your little loop of 11-0s, and just go through the crystal like that. Ta-da! Oh my, this is so pretty. Yeah, I love this so much. I think I'm gonna try and do a rainbow one with different colors. That would be cool, or alternate the color. You know what would be cool is to alternate the colors. So do alternate colors through here, but then alternate these as well, so that so like this color, say this was a light blue, then put light blue in here and do it that way, alternate. I don't know if that would work. I'm getting ahead of myself. So that's the next one. Oh, I did. That's right. I need 11-0, a crystal, and 11-0. And we're going to go through this guy and just the crystal like that. And like I said, loose, not a biggie. It's all going to get tight now. And we're going to go through these a couple of times. So I'm picking it up. It makes it a little easier to work with. So just go through. And go through So I still have it really loose, but once I go through this crystal again, I'm going to pull it tight, and then we'll give it some shape. So there, like that. So there is another technique that you can do when you're going around here. If you want to tighten these crystals, you can skip your 11-0 and go through the crystal, and that will pop these guys out to the corners and bring these guys in. So that's an option too, but I kind of like this long way look. So I'm just going to go through these guys, and we are going to go through here, and now we're going through the bracelet again. And try not to, it's like bending my needle. Oh, pull it all the way through and go around. See if I can bend that back. It's so funny. I use number 10 needles, and when after using like a number 12 and I use a 10, I'm like, oh my gosh, this needle is like so hard and it's not going anywhere. It's very substantial. And then like halfway through, it's like all bent. I think the heat changes the metal, the heat from my hand. So we've got a few more of these to go. So we'll just keep going. Now we can chat. I hope you guys are doing well. I apologize. I haven't been around because I had a bunch of stuff going on. So I had a painting, a commission painting that was due, and so that was taking up a lot of time. And then I bought a 1-month membership at the gym to kind of hold me over until they had some Christmas specials. And so I was trying to get the most use out of my membership, and I was feeling sick. So I didn't get it used up as much as I would have liked to. So it ended up being a very expensive membership. When you think if you only use it a couple of times a week, you divide that in the amount of what you paid. You think I go swim at the pool. So now my swim's costing me, $10, $15 to swim. That's not good. That's definitely expensive. So I like to pay $5. That's my limit. I'm so cheap. I need my money for my beads. Come on. So I was feeling sick, and I had some issues with my breast, and so I saw my family doctor. I managed to get in to see her like within a week. She saw me, and she found a lump. So I got an appointment a few days later for what they call a diagnostic ultrasound or mammogram. So I had just had my mammogram done in March, and they didn't find anything. So of course the symptoms that I was having were enough that it needed to be addressed. So I went for so now I'm adding the next one. So I went for the diagnostic mammogram, and they found a few things. So I've been a little stressed out about it because now I have a booking for a biopsy, and the booking is a month away, which apparently is fast, but it's going to be December 15th, which means the results are supposed to come between 7 days and 10 days. And that would kind of bring us right into Christmas. And I'm concerned that I'm not going to get in to see my doctor right away, and then she has to refer me to a surgeon. And what they found, I'm going to need to see a surgeon no matter what. So I kind of feel like I should be referred right away so that there's no waiting. But, I mean, their treatment is going to be dependent on what the results say as well. So even though I will need treatment by a surgeon, it could be different treatment. So I understand why they're doing it that way, but it's really, it's kind of plays on your mind. And you know, the funny thing is, I've never been really sick in my life. So I have this kind of thing in my head where I think, oh, I'm good. I'm never going to get sick. And then, you know, then the odds are against you if you're female and if you're older and postmenopausal. So I meet all the criteria, and I have a strong family history. I had a sister that had a bilateral mastectomy at 35. So yeah. So we'll see. I'll keep you guys posted. I'm trying to stay positive, and I've been told not to seek out Dr. Google through YouTube, which I've done. So I probably exhausted that. I feel like I've had a course on the all the different tests and stuff. This is starting to come. Oh, this is amazing. So I had sent images of the 3 bracelets and like just these components to a few people. And as much as I love the turquoise, oh my gosh, the blue is incredible. So yeah, I sent a few pictures and a lot of people said, oh, I like the blue. So let me know which one you like the most. So we're gonna, this is the last component, and then we'll put our, so just to go over this, we have an 11-0, a crystal 11-0, and you're coming out of this crystal. You're going to go into the next component, this crystal. If we can get in here without picking it up like that. And pull that through like that. And we'll pick up our next crystal. 11-0, crystal, 11-0. So I guess the story that I'm telling is, if you haven't seen me on YouTube, that's why. Because I'm just like so, well, first of all, I was like super busy. And then because I had 4 appointments in the span of a week, between doctor's appointments, I still had some appointments for my hand surgery. So just going to go through this a few times. We are probably not going to have enough thread. I was going to say we're just going to have enough thread, but I think what I might do is just go through it once and then show you, or yeah, show you the finished product, and then I'll go through it after and secure it. So nah, this is not going to be enough. I think I'll just go through everything here and make sure that's nice and tight. And the other thing too, since we're so short on thread here, is it's probably good to add your clasps separately on a separate strand. So if it ever breaks, and that's where things usually break, is at the clasp. So I'm trying to get my needle in here this time so that it doesn't jump the seed bead here. And that way you don't lose your beads when it breaks, because they're all separate. Go through here. So that one's a bit loose, but you could always go back over these guys. Let's go through here and we'll put another knot here. And that tightens everything. Like through here. And once around, twice around like that. And through. There. Tight. Oh, this looks amazing. Okay. So I think I have a piece of thread on a needle already somewhere. Nope. Okay. And just so you know, this dragon thread too, you can pinch it with your fingernails and it flattens it nicely. So you don't have to get your tools out to flatten it. And I mean, you're using a 11/0 needle, so it should go through pretty easy. Famous last words. The band-aid's getting in the way. Okay, let's try this. And of course my needle's all bent, so there we go. Through here. So to add, you just want to find a spot on your, away from wherever you're attaching. So I'm going to come down here. And I'm going to start to go through this. So maybe come out this one here. Like this. Now there's my end of my thread. We'll leave that. I'm going to pull that down a bit. Then put a knot here. Get that in there. Like there. There's your knot. And now we're going to go through. I always put 2 when I'm adding. So now we can clip this piece off. Do one more knot here. One and 2. And hold it. Pull your needle through. Tighten it like that. And go through. So we're going to come out of this bead here. Like that. So I have a bunch of stuff to show you. I've got some updates. I think I'm going to do a studio tour. I kind of wanted to do the tour when my office was more organized, but you know what? Maybe I should do it before and after, because I got so much stuff. I say that like it's a bad thing. It's definitely not a bad thing, but my wife doesn't like coming in my office anymore. She's like, oh, it makes me nervous when I come in your office. I'm like, you know, you need to stop watching American Pickers. I'm not a hoarder. So this is what you need for your other side of your clasp. You need 11/0, a crystal 11/0, crystal 11/0. You're coming out of this side of the bead, a crystal, and then you're going to go into the other side of the crystal. Like that. Ta-da! We're going to go through that a few times. We might as well do the proper hanging out. So go through these guys like that, and go through that crystal again, and pull it tight like that. And then through here, through the 11-0. Now we're going to add. Let me bring my thread down a bit. Okay. I think I am going to add 4 this. I had 4. Actually, I added 4 the last time. I think I'm going to add 5. And tell you why, because for the toggle, you want to be able to slide it through a little better. So there's 3, yeah, 5. And then the toggle. So there's your 5. We're going to add 5 more. And here's the other way you can avoid the beads going through your toggle, is you can come through one of the beads, a combined beads. I've seen that done. So there's 5, 3, and 2. But I'm not too concerned about that. Then we're going to come out this side, we're going to go in the other side, we're going to go through everything again. Yeah, that's... We may go through sideways up here so that they connect this way. And I've done that before too. So I'll show you how to do that. Through here. Okay. So now we're going to go through this common seed bead here. Like that. And this will reinforce it as well. So let's just make sure we have the same amount on each side. We do. I'm just going to kind of hold it this way. So we're going to come up this first one on this side. And then we're going to go down the opposite side, first one. We could actually weave up. Yeah, let's just weave up. So we'll go through this one like that. Just that one there. So that will bring these together, and then go to the next one on the other side. Crisscross. And just get our thread here. And pull everything tight so you can see how it's zipping it up like that. And you can barely see that strand, so you're fine. So through here. And just through that one. Like that. And then we're going to go through the top one. Like that. Through our clasp, and we're going to come down. Like that. So they are kind of like zigzagged a bit, but once we come down here, that should straighten it out. Like that. Nice and tight. Nice. Go through this. And one. Lovely. Perfect. Okay, go through here. And you can add a wire guarding as well. So I'm just gonna go through these guys, and we will bring this down through here, through these guys, like that, nice and tight. Bring it through, and we're gonna go through a few beads and find a spot to create a knot. That doesn't want to get through there. Let's go through this one. Nails like okay, naughty time. We're so naughty. Yeah, so I was saying I have a bunch of stuff to show you. So I have the studio tour. I have a incredible unboxing from Dee Dee's Beads. I have the deluxe bead box to show you, and I also have she had a Black Friday sale, and it was like 45% off, and there was a ton of stuff that I saw on her site when when she first contacted me. She's like, if there's anything you need, just let me know. But I'm like, when I saw that, and she sent me a message saying, I don't know if you missed this, but we're having a Black Friday sale. I was like, perfect Christmas present to myself. So needless to say, there's a massive order that I have to show you. You're gonna freak out. So super stoked. So that is that. Let's cut this off and show you what we have. Oh, this is gorgeous. That is amazing. Look, I can't believe how much it's sparkling. This is incredible. Incredible. Let's see if we can. That is lovely. And you can see that goes in nicely. Yeah, so it's good that we added the length for that toggle. Turn this a bit. Oh, yeah. This is amazing. So talk about size. Let me put this on the mandrel so you can see. So this is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 components. And let's see, I think they are 7.5. So it might be just under 7.5. So so this might be a little bit difficult for you to get onto your wrist. So you might want to add a little more length in here. And this is a big clasp too, so there's that. And you know what? Jump rings again on these. So you don't have to attach them the way I do. I just like doing it that way. I've attached with jump rings at times, and if you don't close the jump ring exactly, it slides off the thread. So that's why I do it that way. So yeah, there you go, 7.5-inch bracelet. So if you have a smaller wrist, definitely you only have to make 5 of these components. And these are these incredible bracelets. Oh my gosh. So I hope you enjoyed that. I hope you get a chance to make one. These are super simple. Look at that. Awesome. Thanks for joining me, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye. I get to play with my beads.